A British politician, a mysterious disappearance, and a life of deception. How did John Stonehouse fake his own death and nearly get away with it? Today we unravel the story of John Stonehouse, the MP who staged his own death. You are now entering the weird place. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Who was John Stonehouse? John Stonehouse was a British Labour MP in the 1960s and 70s, known for his charisma and ambition. He held several positions in the British government and appeared to have a promising career. But behind the scenes, Stonehouse was deeply in debt and facing financial ruin after a series of failed business ventures and fraudulent activities. Fearing disgrace and exposure, he hatched a bold plan to fake his own death and start a new life. The disappearance. On November 20th, 1974, Stonehouse arrived in Miami Beach, Florida on a business trip. Later that day, he left his clothes neatly on the shore and vanished into the ocean, giving the impression that he had drowned. Back in the UK, his wife and colleagues were devastated, believing Stonehouse had either drowned or suffered a heart attack while swimming. The press covered his tragic death extensively, and his political career was seemingly over. A new identity in Australia. While authorities believed Stonehouse was dead, he was very much alive. Using fake identities, including the names of two deceased men, Stonehouse traveled to Australia with the plan to start a new life. He opened bank accounts, transferred money, and even began a relationship with his secretary, Sheila Buckley, who joined him later. For months, Stonehouse lived under the radar, enjoying his new life and hoping his old one had been left behind forever. The capture. Stonehouse's deception didn't last long. His erratic behavior in Australia, combined with his use of false identities, eventually caught the attention of authorities. At first, Australian police thought they had stumbled upon Lord Lucan, another British figure who had famously disappeared around the same time. But after closer investigation, they realized they had caught John Stonehouse. He was arrested in Melbourne on December 24, 1974, just a month after faking his death. The aftermath. Stonehouse was extradited back to the UK, where he faced charges of fraud, forgery, and theft. During his trial, it was revealed that Stonehouse had been involved in embezzlement and other fraudulent activities for years, using his position to cover up his financial misdeeds. He was convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison. His political career, of course, was over, and he became one of Britain's most infamous figures of the 20th century. The legacy of John Stonehouse. John Stonehouse's faked death is remembered as one of the most audacious and bizarre episodes in British political history. His story has been told in books, documentaries, and even a recent television series, all of which explore the complexities of his character and the sheer boldness of his plan. While his attempt to escape his old life ultimately failed, his case remains a fascinating example of how far someone will go to avoid facing the consequences of their actions. What do you think drove John Stonehouse to stage his own death? And how do you think he thought he could get away with it? If you're fascinated by stories of deception, intrigue, and mystery, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to explore the world's most incredible true stories.